I have to remind myself that actually perfection is an illusion. Perfection isn't real.
Right.
My idea of perfect, somebody else's idea of perfect, two different things.
Right.
And it's actually unobtainable. So if I'm always chasing perfection, I'm never going to get there, but I'm always going to feel as though I am lacking or less than.
Right.
And so, especially with the platform, it's not anywhere near where I want it to be. It's
Right.
not doing the things that I want it to do right now. But then I have to remember I'm not in competition with anybody or anyone else. It's just me and kind of like what me and Selena want to happen.
Polish in my hand, I'm ready to create each nail a masterpiece. I can hardly wait. Soft pastels or vibrant hues, each tells a tale in their artistry of nails. Nothing ever fails. With each swirl and twirl, let the magic begin in this kingdom of gloss. There's no end to the wind. Gloss on my fingertips, watch them shine bright. Painted like a canvas, colors taking flight. Feeling fierce and fabulous, I'm ready to ignite. Slaying the nail game every single night. Nails and beauty talk with ASIATHABIRD. Nails and beauty talk with ASIATHABIRD.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. Today, we have a very special guest with us today. She is one of the founders of Black Nail Techs UK. Please welcome Rachel. Hello, Rachel, and how are you?
Hi, Asia. Thank you so much for having me on. I am doing brilliantly now that I'm finally here in the studio with you. Let's go.
All right. Glad to have you. So I want to go ahead and get started by asking where you're originally from and tell us about your upbringing.
Yeah, of course. So originally from London, South London, where I was born and bred, where I grew up. My mum, my parents and my grandparents who lived literally around the corner. However, I then moved from London probably when I was about maybe 9, 10 years old. And we moved out of London, so which was a change and a shock for me. So we'd gone from kind of like inner city urban life to Kent, which is, if anybody knows anything about England, Kent is known as the Garden of England. It's very green, it's very tranquil, very peaceful. So they say. But being a black person moving out there in the 80s maybe wasn't so peaceful and tranquil as they would have liked to have made out. But that said, I had a really great childhood. So even though my mum and dad kind of split up, and that's partly what fueled the move to Kent. My grandparents moved, and so my mum decided to move out there. But yeah, other than that, I very, very close to my grandparents. I actually lived with my grandparents for some time as well. So they were really influential to who I am. They're from Guyana, if you don't know, which is part of the Caribbean, but actually on mainland South America. So I kind of got Guyanese influence, Jamaican, Grenadian. So Caribbean household growing up in the UK. And what can I say? Yeah, that it's part of me, part of who I am, and that is never going to change.
Yeah, that's really, really amazing. I want to get into as far as your school experience. So what was like your school experience like growing up, like, primary, secondary, university, things like that?
Yeah, right. So obviously the first part of my primary schooling was in London. Very, everyone looked like me. I didn't stand out. I wasn't the odd one out. I moved a couple of primary schools, but generally it was okay. My experience was fine. Then moved to Kent. And I think this is probably when I got my first taste of institutional racism when I moved to Kent, as well as personal racism as well. But as much as I liked school and I loved schooling, I was very bright as a child. I do remember the school that I went to in Kent basically penalising myself and my mum really, because we have what's known as, I actually don't know if they were called SATs back then, but anyway, you do kind of like testing just before you finish primary school to see what your levels are going to be when you go to secondary school,
right,
and what support or help might be needed. Anyway, me with my bright self said, oh, I've already read this text that's in the exam because it's in one of the storybooks that my mum's bought me. And because of that, I was told that basically my score wouldn't count because I'd had a unfair advantage over the other children.
Wow.
So because, yes, I read books, yes, because they couldn't even believe when I started how far my reading was when I started. I don't know what they were expecting. I was told that actually, no, your grades aren't going to count for this part of the exam because, it's unfair that you've seen the text before the other children. So that was my first taste of that. Didn't really understand it at the time. But I had a good group of friends, moved on to secondary school. Again, was probably one of maybe 3 Black children in my actual whole year.
Wow.
But that said, I had a good group of friends. At the time, they were, and I would say they were definitely for the time, for the season. University, loved it. So I did a degree in social policy and administration, and then I went on to do my master's in youth, anthropology, youth and community work, and that kind of fueled my passion for helping and supporting people, which is kind of what I've done throughout my career in different ways, in different streams. But that's what I see Black Now Tech UK as being part of. It's just my way of supporting and helping and developing those who need it, really.
Now, who or what exposed you to the nail industry?
I would say nails would definitely be my mum. I have this memory of my mum with always painted red nails, like long nails, always red lipstick, like that was my mum. So I'd always seen painted nails, manicured nails. But when it came to me myself, and then me deciding actually I want to do that, I guess it was just being a teenager, self-expression. Decided, you get your first job, you get your paycheck, you're like, okay, I can do this for myself now. So I would say, it was pretty much myself. And I was definitely, French square tips had me in a chokehold when I was I was young. Right. That was it. Until obviously I found a few other designs. And then I kind of fell out of love with nails for a while. I think it was because of the places that I was going to were not taking care of my nails. I was just going in as quick as possible, get it done and out again. So I stopped for years. And then I fell back in love with doing my nails actually during COVID lockdown. I thought, I'm going to do it myself. That lasted for I maybe did 2 manicures myself before I decided, no, not for me. I enjoy sitting in the chair. I enjoy someone doing it for me. And becoming a mum as well.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I needed that me time. I decided that actually this is not just about aesthetics. It's not just about appearance. It's actually about how it's making me feel whilst I'm getting the nails done. Afterwards, I'm looking at my nails and it's making me feel a certain way. So I would say that's how I kind of came into being exposed to the nail industry.
I want to push forward and talk about your platform. So you have a directory platform dedicated to Black nail techs called Black Nail Techs UK. So tell us about this platform and the mission behind it. Like, what was the whole decision or driving force behind building it?
Yeah, I guess like I was saying, aside from nails, I'm a connector at heart. So I love being able to connect people who are looking for something with, I know somebody that does that. In my network, I can put you in touch with so-and-so. So that's just my nature. And so all of my work has that theme of collaboration and mutual benefits behind it. And I'm also a supporter of Black businesses. Anybody who knows me will tell you that they will come to me and be like, do you know a Black business who... So I actually had a radio show before Black Nail Techs was a thing. I had a radio show called Business Mix where we would we did that for about 7-8 years, myself and one of my best friends. We would interview Black entrepreneurs about their business journey and also give insight tips and a kind of like business support through that to the Black community. So we interviewed hundreds of UK Black entrepreneurs, hundreds. And that's kind of like segued into, or will segue into a podcast as well later on in the year. And so it just seemed a natural progression. Okay, I really like getting my nails done. Actually, I guess maybe we'll come to it. When COVID happened, and I had a couple of experiences with some what we call non-standard salons. I don't know if you call them that over there in the US. So those who are, they've got salons, they've got things up and running, but they're perhaps a little bit, their hygiene practices and standards aren't up to scratch. Perhaps
we have that here.
Yeah, a bit unethical with how, like, the last time I went into a non-standard salon was when I saw the nail tech filling up an OPI bottle with some basic nail varnish and it was very public. He wasn't trying to hide it. So I asked, do you always do that? He's like, yeah, we do. After that, I was like, I'm not coming back here.
Right.
And I wanted to find somebody who would take as much care of my nails as they would their own. So it just seemed logical to be like, okay, if I'm going to do this, let me find a black business to support. Then, like I was saying, COVID happened. There was a whole Black Lives Matter movement. And it was like, there was a whole explosion of supporting Black, buy Black, do this, do that.
Right.
I feel like for some people they were saying, but I don't know. When nail salons, come back, reopen, I'd love to support a Black nail technician, but I don't know where to find them. Now, I felt that was like, oh, really? Because I can find them. But we've all got our different kind of network strength skills. So I just decided to put a call out on Facebook, on social media, and just said, if you know of a Black nail salon, a Black nail tech, or Black nail supplies, a Black nail supplier, or product supplier, send it to me. So that happened. I got about 100 plus kind of like DMs, results back. I ended up turning it into like a Google Doc that I could share with people.
Right. Yeah.
Now text themselves were saying, oh, Mimi, can I be on your list? And I was just sharing it. I was just sharing it wherever someone was talking about nail technicians. I'd go online and I'd search, like maybe on Facebook, I'd search groups that had to do with nails, and then I'd put the Google Doc up there. So I realized that actually the data that I had collected, crowdsourced, it was public. People were voluntarily giving me this information.
Right.
Needed a home, needed a permanent space where it could be easily accessible. Because the problem wasn't that people didn't want to support Black nail technicians. I found that they just thought they didn't know where to find them. And the fact that then that made me think, well, there are talented nail techs out there who are being undiscovered. They're not being given the same platform as nail techs of other ethnicities. And this is across the board. So this is not just kind of like on your high street or a mobile nail technician. It includes through editorial, TV, film, theatre, entertainment, all of that, all of those spaces as well. Right. And so I thought, okay, I'd love to create a space or a platform where you could just go and find a Black nail tech. It doesn't mean that white nail techs, Asian nail techs, don't deserve if they want their own platform, or deserve to be found. It's just, I noticed that there's a gap in the visibility where Black nail technicians can be seen, can be searched, can be celebrated for their talent. And so that was in a nutshell, I guess. That was the beginnings, the humble beginnings of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the thing is that, like, it's a whole thing on how you said there's a gap, in the nail industry where, there's not as much Black nail techs or nail artists being highlighted in the nail industry, especially in the UK.
Exactly.
Someone that I know who's been an educator for, I think, for a couple of decades, and we've had conversations about this, and she's even said, like, there's racism in the nail industry in the UK. So it's like, the thing is that I'm glad that, people like yourself, and other people are highlighting more Black nail techs, nail artists, presto nail artists that are in the UK sphere. And, and of course there's more here in the US, but even with just on a global standpoint, I think Black women, especially Black American women, don't get enough credit as far as the impact the nail industry has had.
Right, exactly. It's like, yeah, we'll take the trend, but we won't give you the credit for where that trend has started from. And I mean, Selena and myself, I must give a shout out to Selena. Selena can't be with us today, but Selena is like the tech whiz behind the platform. So she was there from the beginning, helping me with the branding, so kind of like marketing, digital marketing, like that's her thing. So she was there from the beginning, helping me with the brand, and then she she's been there kind of just along the journey, supporting me as well. So we even got I haven't actually gone back to revisit it, but there's a platform called Scratch Magazine in the UK. So they featured us when we launched, and the backlash that we had from, oh, well, why do you need this? We don't have a white nail tech platform. Oh my gosh, this is so racist. If we were to do this, it was actually crazy. And it's just like, actually, I'm not taking anything away from any other nail techs. However, I'm allowed to highlight Black nail techs. And if Asian nail techs want to be highlighted, that's great. That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Why is it I wouldn't see it as any type of problem? So we are going to go back and visit that again and kind of like just dissect that and just put it out and see, like, well, this again, just to reaffirm our message, this is why we're doing this. This is why. If you did a Google search for nail technician UK and look at the images that come up, I guarantee you're probably not going to see a Black image of a Black nail tech.
Nope.
And that's the reason why. That's the main reason why. But yeah, we're growing, and we've got nail techs that are kind of contacting us, asking to be listed on the platform, kind of like every month. And I would also, as we grow and as our community grows, as you said, you've spoken to nail techs who have said, no, there is racism in the UK nail industry. Love to find out more about that and how, Black Nail Techs UK can be used as kind of like as a conduit within that as well, and how we can, reduce that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also too, the fact that, the white counterparts as far as the industry want to complain about y'all being featured. But let's be very clear, they featured all the time.
Absolutely.
They highlight it all the time. Like, the white demographic and the Asian demographics are the main demographics that take over the nail industry, if not the beauty industry. You know what I'm saying? They get paid much more. I guarantee you that is with a Black hairstylist, nail artist, nail tech, and things like, especially, the editorial sector of things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just mind-boggling.
And then when you contrast that with Black women being some of the biggest spenders within the, not just nail, beauty industry.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Right. And so it's like, okay, well, so we're not just consumers.
Right.
We're actually creators. We're actually, I'm saying I should say as well, I'm not a nail tech, but I love the artistry. Like, I'm in love with the skills. I'm in love with, oh my gosh, look at what's been created. And that needs to be given its props and given its dues just as much as, we spend within the beauty industry. We're beautiful people. Why would we not? Like, come on.
Yeah, absolutely, most definitely. I want to get into as far as the next question. Now, what do you think about the progression of the nail industry as far as education and technology? And do you think AI will potentially take over the nail and beauty industry?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't think it will take over.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying AI won't be involved or even to,
Right. Yeah.
I'm not saying that AI is going to be shunned completely, but take over. I mean, I guess AI will take over when we're fully taken over by robots and AI. That's what I'm. Okay, then yes, I'll say yes. But until then, I feel like okay, let me talk from my perspective. I love the human touch. Until we've got to the point where AI is seen as so human and feels so human and can interact with me as a human, no. I guess the convenience, the speed. So I remember, was it last year? I think it was last year. We had like a AI manicure booth in Selfridges, which is a large department store in London, which was, great. I didn't use it, but I saw clips of people using it, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is so great!" 20 minutes, and I've got my nail. It was very basic, and so for that 20 minutes, I don't even know how much it cost, but for that 20 minutes, I'd rather double that and sit down and have my time chilling, talking to my nail tech, getting my nails done, and catching some joke and finding out what's happened since the last time we spoke. That's me. I know that also there's a home AI kind of like system, nail tech, now manicure system that is in place. But I did look, it's UMIA. The reviews have been very mixed. It's about $700. Mixed reviews on its efficiency. So until AI can do stuff that my nail tech can't, I'll stick with my nail tech. But that said, I do think things like color matching or swatches or like 3D printing for designs and things like that. Absolutely. Yeah, let's work with AI. I would love to have a system where we could see like not necessarily colored dupes. So I love gel and I love Biab for my hands, but not for my feet. But I also sometimes I like to match. However, if I use a gel on my hands, I have to try and find the exact color match in a natural nail varnish for my feet, which I can't always do. So things like that, sure, but not to replace the human touch. That's me. What about you? What do you think? I want to know what do you think about it?
I think with AI has some sort of usefulness as far as like with certain ideas or like how to elevate your business in a way. I think in terms of nail art ideas, I think it could be used for nail art ideas to a certain extent, but also as well, I know for a fact that AI can never replace human creativity in regards to nails or anything creative. But the thing is that as far as with robots, I think China, they have some sort of like AI robot thing that you see clips, on TikTok where, the robot is dancing and all sort of stuff. They're big on the tech stuff, it seemed like, definitely. But the thing is that I think AI will never replace human creativity, no matter how advanced it's going to get, because it's going to get more advanced. It's just inevitable.
Absolutely. It just comes down to choice. When it gets to the point where the AI or the robot, the artificial intelligence is on par with humans, in whatever way we're looking at, I think it's just going to come down to choice. People are going to have to choose. Do I want to use the AI or do I want to stick with humans? And for me, my choice will always be humans. Yeah,
absolutely. So I want to get into as far as just a very fun question. So what is your favorite nail art design, favorite nail product, and favorite nail shape?
Okay, so I'm a pink girly, like pink. Like sometimes I'm sure my nail tech gets a bit, can you just choose something else? But guaranteed, whatever I do there's gonna have a touch of pink, even if it's just a touch. It's gonna have pink, all shades. Even sometimes she's just doing the base, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks so beautiful. Can I just keep this? She's like, no, you're not. You're not walking out with that. I love chrome. I love a bit of sparkle, anything that's got a bit of a glimmer or a bit of a twinkle on it. I'm currently doing square, but I'm going back. I think I'm going to go back to almond.
Okay.
Almond, I think, yeah. I'm going to go back to an almond shape. So I've been doing square since, I don't know, end of last year or beginning of this year. And it looks great, but I miss my almond. So I'm going to go back to that. And I would say as well, I love I love junk nails. Like, I love, like I was saying, just like the creativity, the artistry, like, oh my God, how did you even get that thought in your mind and translate that to come out like that? Not that I've ever had it, and I don't think it's quite my style, but when I see it on others, literally I'm in awe. Yeah, that's me.
Now I want to get into as far as nail artists. If you had a top 5 list of your favorite nail artists, who would they be and why?
Okay, so I had to really think about this question. And this is in no particular order. And if I haven't mentioned your name, it doesn't mean I don't love you. But I was really thinking about what is it about these nail artists, these nail techs that I like. So, and obviously I've got to keep it UK. Like, you know, it would be off brand for me not to keep it UK. So we'll start with a lady called Chai from Set Gallery. Kind of reminds me a bit about yourself, a bit of yourself actually. So she's like a painter, she's an artist. So she was doing a lot of like creativity and artistry, and she just brought her passion for that and her dedicated skill over to nails. And so I love her designs. They're very intricate, some of them very intricate, very detailed, and yeah, it almost screams perfection. Like there's nothing out of place. And I have met her once, and she's lovely as well. So she's based in London. Two nail techs who I only know, I've only kind of like seen their designs online. So that's a lady called Mika in Leicester, Contours by Mika, and Kay, who's created by Kay. She's in Derby, and they're outside of London. And I think that's another thing as well when we talk about the UK nail industry. London gets a lot of love, and I know it's the capital city, and I know it's kind of like the centre for a lot of things, but the talent that we have is not just centered on, it's not just restricted to London. So when I do call outs for like, oh, we need some, you know, would you like to come onto the platform? I'm always looking as well for people outside of London. So Mika and Kay, I just sit and look at their, even just like on the screen on Instagram, I'm looking at their designs. Some are kind of like hyper realistic. They're, you know, using kind of inspiration from fruit, inspiration from fireworks, and the colors. I think for me, that's what it is. Like Contours by Mika, her sets are really colorful. And they're two nail techs who I would definitely consider traveling for at least 2 hours to go and get my nails done with. I'm gonna obviously got to shout out my day one, my nail tech Najat at Mazel Beauty, near where I am. Funny story. When we first met, we actually really clashed. We almost argued. I went to the wrong place. I was late for my appointment. But she listens to what I want. She takes my crazy ideas on board. She makes them come to life. I've also got that relationship with her where I can just like give her my bare nails and say, just do what you want, and I can shut my eyes and guaranteed I'm going to be happy with that. So, and last but definitely not least, I have to, like, if we're talking UK, I can't not shout out Shades of Shay. So that's Shay or Say. Who is obviously known for doing Cynthia's nails.
Cynthia Rigo.
Arriva on Wicked, and I mean she's been in the game for decades, and so to see her hard work and passion and dedication like really kind of like pay off now, love that. So definitely, and I'm going to give an honourable mention, not a black nail tech, but again I love her, Anushka Anastasia. I don't know if you know her. She's a miniature specialist, so she does miniature designs on nails, like 3D. Like I'm like, she's a painter, decorator, builder, electrician. She puts like light. She can do everything on her now. She did like a mini Google Pixel phone to go on now. She does like bottles of Captain Morgan rum on. There's like, yeah, anything that's miniature. I'm there. So, sorry, and that was actually 6, but hey.
All right, I want to get into as far as with just pretty much everyday life. So how do you balance, with creating this platform and evolving the platform of Black Nail Techs UK with life and mental health?
Yeah, it is hard because I have to remind myself that actually perfection is an illusion. Perfection isn't real.
Right.
My idea of perfect, somebody else's idea of perfect, 2 different things.
Right.
And it's actually unobtainable. So if I'm always chasing perfection, I'm never going to get there, but I'm always going to feel as though I am lacking or less than.
Right.
And so, especially with the platform, it's not anywhere near where I want it to be. It's not doing the things that I want it to do right now. But then I have to remember I'm not in competition with anybody or anyone else. It's just me and kind of like what me and Selena want to happen. So I definitely take time out, as I said already, nails, walking. I've just over the last few months got into walking, like my blood pressure is sky high, so the doctor says. So I've had to learn to slow down, be really intentional, take time. Like I have this thing that I like to do in the mornings where I just float. What does that mean? It means that I might get up like maybe half an hour, 45 minutes earlier than I want to, but I'm not doing anything. I'm just easing myself into the day. And what would I say as well? I guess my family means a lot to me. So my children, my husband, extended family, making sure that I really take time out to spend quality time with them where we can pour into one another.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
So where do you see Black Nail Techs UK 5 years from now?
5 years from now, we are going to be the #1 platform in the UK for discovering Black nail techs and nail talent.
Absolutely.
I mean, to be fair, if you do a Google search, if anyone's watching this, do a Google search, put Black nail techs in UK, we should be #1 anyway. But I want to stay #1. Love to expand into kind of more education, because now I feel like right now the now education side is really starting to blossom in the UK. I mean, it's always been here,
right?
But now the nail techs who have been doing nails for a long time are now saying, do you know what? Let me give back. Let me relax a little bit. Let me slow down. I can teach and then help the next kind of like generation of nail techs come forward. So being involved in that somehow with like standardization across the nail industry, qualifications. Love to get into some brand partnerships as well. So even if it's not necessarily with kind of like nail product suppliers, but it, like I said, it might be film, it might be TV, it could be something on stage where actually larger organizations, larger corporates have taken stock. They've looked at, okay, actually, for the past 5 years, we've never had a Black nail tech working with us. What can we do to change that? And it's not like I would just then be like, oh, go onto the platform and find a nail tech and we'll just drop a Black nail tech into a environment where they've never had to deal with a Black nail. Not like when I say deal with a Black nail tech, not that it's going to be difficult or trouble, but it's a culture. It's a change for them. How is the corporation going to deal with that? So working with different brands, corporates, so they can understand fully the bigger picture of what we're trying to do. And obviously, just keep supporting nail techs with that visibility and opportunities. That's us, I guess.
Now, last but not least, where can people find Black Nail Techs UK on social media, and how can people contribute and support the platform?
Yay. So we, across all socials, we are Black Nail Techs, but Black is BLK, Nail Tech. So that's Instagram, that is LinkedIn, that is Pinterest, all of the socials, and even TikTok as well. our website is blacknailtechs.uk.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, how can you support is, if you know of a black nail tech in the UK, tell us about them. Tell us, just even if you just give me their name, details, I'll do the rest. I'm a researcher, so I can go and find the details. Feedback on our website. What do you want to see from us as well? That would be great. So I'm all about evolution. I'm all about development. I know where we are now isn't our final destination, and we've got a long way to go. But I'm here for it. I'm here for the long ride. So until the wheels fall off. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Rachel, for jumping on. I really loved our conversation. Thank you so much for sharing you and Selena's story of how y'all built this platform of Black Nail Techs UK. I definitely believe and agree that is something that's very, very critical, especially down in the UK as far as the nail industry. And yeah, I really enjoyed, hearing your story, and, it was really wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care and stay beautiful.